All right. Welcome to the Big Schmooze, everybody. I think Will, you had an intro. I'm gonna weirdly hand this off to you. What do you think? What's going on?
Oh wow. Well, the intro was not anything planned, but
I think you can figure it out. It's not too complicated.
welcome everybody. Glad to have another podcast. I'm just coming to you from my living room here. It's quite
space?
fancy. Oh no, I'm actually this is my metaverse living room. I recently bought some real estate in the metaverse. I spent more than I should have on a fake house. And what do you guys think? It's beautiful, right? It's
a lovely piano.
What's more than you should have? How much we talking?
We're talking in the 0.2 mil.
And that's in meta money or real life money?
Well, apparently one meta buck is a US dollar, so I don't know. Still trying to dig myself out financially.
That's quite a lot, Will. 0.2. That's not a 1.2. I'll just make sure I'm hearing correctly.
No, just a 0.2.
It was a 0.2.
Yeah, 0.2 mil.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
congrats.
You try and make it sound better than it is. But anyways, I'm coming from my beautiful living room here, brand new piece of real estate. Happy to show it off with the audience. Joined by Tom, who looks like he's in his. Are you in your basement or is that?
I'm in. My lighting today looks like I'm broadcasting from a David Fincher movie. I'm in Ben Affleck's house in Gone Girl, maybe.
Very yellow. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's for some reason I can only. It looks very color corrected every time I turn on a light in this room. It's either I'll take this though because the red was so hellish. I think nobody was trusting me anymore.
That's kind of cool because then each room or each light even is like its own Instagram filter, really. So if you have a sort of a control pad, you can sort of cycle through all the different options. It's pretty cool.
That's true.
So fabulous.
Like it's fantastic.
I'd like to see it switch from red to yellow.
I'm sorry, Courtney. I'm trying to introduce. We're also joined by Courtney. Courtney, glad to have you here.
Smooth, Will. Yeah, that was a good one. Courtney, glad to have you. Yes, Courtney is the only one who looks like her lighting looks normal because Will kind of looks like an apparition, sort of fading in and out. His lighting is weirdly blue, even though his metaverse pad is not. I've got like the weird blurry long focus thing going on. Yeah, and Courtney, I don't know. Just how'd you figure out how to make everything look normal? What'd you do?
I went into my auntie's basement and sat by the window well.
Aha, the old auntie's basement has the best lighting trick.
Yes, it does.
Well, we are here tonight. We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about and a lot of scary stuff to talk about probably too, like usual. Will, I got a quick question for you though before we jump into it. So in the metaverse, like your meta pad you got there, is it like in the Sims, you'd live in like a neighborhood? It'd be like Gothamer neighborhood, Gothamer estate. Do you have like a whole little meta universe?
Yeah, I actually live like a few neighborhood developments down from the Zuck. He's got a house here in the metaverse. His is in sort of like I want to say it's like the Platinum Breeze Estates. Mm-hmm. I'm more sort of like in the, Bronze Kissed Sun Estates. And, that's a couple of layers down. And honestly, Mark's been telling me that I should upgrade my house because it also would improve my meta health, which is why I'm appearing a little pale, so I mean, take that as you will. It's just the metaverse is it's great, it's a fun thing, but you just got to pay for everything. It's like I got to pay to make my face look better in the metaverse. Got to pay for this beautiful house.
I picture like you're out there doing some reps, doing some bench press out in your nice meta lawn, and meta reps, yes. And Zuckerberg kind of just walks down, sort of like an episode of Home Improvement, sticks his head a little bit over a fence. He's like, "Oh, hey."
It's his eyes.
Yeah, just his eyes pop up. And he's like, "Hey, Will, you should consider going for the $0.3 million metaverse house."
And I'm like, Mark, that sounds like a great investment, but we just gotta get the video quality better from I like the metaverse, and if you look at my beautiful house behind me, it looks great, but I'm coming in bad. And Mark tells me that's due to the technology that's available here in my house. So apparently your video quality has something to do with your house that you're streaming from the metaverse. So I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm talking to the bank about a loan for a better house. So we can sort of improve this. But yeah, I don't know why. I told Mark, I was like, Mark, when you buy the 0.2 houses, 0.2 mil house, you know, you end up looking sort of like a dead person.
Yeah, you look like you're
Talking.
haunting this place.
I do look like I'm haunting this
You
place.
are fading away as we speak.
It's like a scene from an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I'm slowly dissolving like that old Windows transition. But yeah, the metaverse is beautiful, Tom. I highly recommend you should spend a 0.2 mil of your own and join this wonderful new experience.
Well, yeah, I was just seeing today that there's a new thing Disney's doing. Actually, our good mutual friend Arch sent it over. They're building like a whole little community where you can live in the Disney universe forever. But it's a physical thing. So my first question actually was, can they compete with the Zuckerberg meta version, where presumably, like, if you wanted to, you could just live next to Thanos or something, you know, and hang out, could watch new episodes of I don't know what shows are on. You can watch what's a pop. You watch the Super Bowl with Thanos, right? In like the Disney metaverse, or you could go live in like a little gated community where there's like a guy in a Minnie Mouse costume who like runs around and presses a button that says quotes to you. I think those are your options. I don't know which one's better.
I don't like either of those.
I want both.
Oh, okay. Please elaborate. I saw like something where it was like the dystopian version of this Disney integrated thing, and it was like UN peacekeepers coming in after something had been bombed, and it was like the Disney version of this. I just thought that was kind of funny. So, you know, when the first murder happens at one of these Disney places, it's gonna be bad.
A Mickey murder.
I'll make murder happen tonight. More at 6. The news is probably gonna be insufferable at that place.
Yeah, yeah. That's not my thing, but everybody loves Disney. You know, like it's one of those things where you just sort of assume people don't want to worship a big corporation, but apparently they do. Apparently everybody does.
When it's adorable, it's easy to.
Is it adorable?
Some of it.
Yeah,
Lots
some of it, Tom. Are you freaking
Well,
heartless?
Little guy in a mouse outfit. That's adorable. It's kind of weird.
That's so cute. That's like totally normal. You
Look,
know?
He
this lady's
talks,
she's dressed up like another human, like a princess human, but she's wearing a
but she's
costume.
got a mouse face.
Right.
Nothing
yeah.
wrong with that, Tom. It's 2022, for Christ's sake.
Well, I think the theme of tonight's show, I don't know if it's like, I don't know if we can strip it down entirely to one easy sell, but essentially there are things that are wrong. It's 2022 and there is some stuff that's wrong with what people are up to. A lot of it's celebrity based today. First off, from our notes, I'm pulling up here. I actually just closed the tab. It's a great thing about live
Whoa.
streams. Is you can just mess everything up immediately, and then it actually
Control Shift T, Tom. Control
gotta,
Shift T.
yeah, you got to figure out the rhythm again. But first thing we had in the list here was Death on the Nile. Courtney was sharing a link because in our last episode we talked about our predictions for 2022. One of which was that Armie Hammer will successfully eat and get away with having eaten a 90s celebrity like Terry Hatcher or somebody like that. And so, you know, this new movie, Death on the Nile, it's the second in the I don't know if you'd call
The
it
Death franchise.
The Death
if
franchise.
you
Yeah.
will.
Murder mysteries that don't have Daniel Craig doing a KFC impression. You know, but instead they have Kenneth Branagh, who is adapting classic Agatha Christie books. So the first one was Murder on the Orient Express, which had Johnny Depp and Josh Gad. You know, I didn't see it because it had Josh Gad.
I'll be honest with you, Tom. I did
Yeah.
see it, and I walked out after 20 minutes, and I got a refund. Because I walked out with enough time where they would give me a refund, and I was like, I don't see this getting any better. And I was right.
What was your when you go to the manager? What did you say?
I was like, listen, man, that movie is terrible. It's only about 20 minutes in. Refund? I'm not going to sit through it. And he was like, okay, sure. You know, he's getting paid $6 an hour. He doesn't care.
I was hoping you went up and you were like, hey, yeah, I figured it out. They all did it.
Can I get my refund now?
Yeah.
I solved the movie. Can I get that refund?
He's like, let me look that up real quick. He Googles it, like looks on the Wikipedia page. Yeah, you're right. All right. Okay. I guess I'll give you the money.
Can you imagine it's a more complicated answer? He's like, well, technically you're wrong based on the Agatha Christie books, but the film adaptation, you're right. So
I'll only give you half back, but you know, good job. You were close.
you're a literary genius.
I personally slept wonderfully through that movie.
Oh, that's good. It would be good background noise, I feel.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, so like these are classics. They're old books. There's a million adaptations of them. What I don't know is I haven't read the books, but in these new ones, Hercule Poirot or whatever his name is, Kenneth Branagh playing him. He's like a French detective, French genius detective, and for some reason he's got like a huge mutton chop on his face. I don't know what's going on with his mustache. Why is it so crazy in these ones?
Because that's funny.
Is it
And
supposed to
it's
be funny?
cover up for
It's not.
injuries. Mhm.
Well, so Courtney, did you see Death on the Nile, the new one?
I did. I coerced my family into taking me because I knew that we had, talked about discussing this movie and its full-fledged cast of characters. So I figured I might as well go and see it. And
Your pitch was like, it's for research.
yes. And for my family, it was to eat popcorn for dinner. So everyone won.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Except your eyes and ears, maybe. The mouth one.
She's catching up on sleep, Tom. Her mouth and eyes and ears were just getting rested. It was a blessing in disguise. What were your highlights or your thoughts as you were sort of sleeping through the movie? Anything sort of permeate your dreams, maybe? Or?
I could not seem to fall asleep. I had just the strangest fear that I would fall asleep and have a nightmare about cannibals. I don't know where that came from.
Ooh, I know where that came from.
So I gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen a hungrier dancer than Army Hammer in the first. What was it? Well, the first scene in the movie.
Jeez.
So wait, hold on though. My understanding, I haven't seen this one because I don't care, but the first scene I'm told is a black and white flashback showing the origin of the mustache. Is that correct?
Yes, you're correct. Let me reiterate. Army Hammer's first scene.
But can we pause on this for a second though, because this has got to be the first flashback in cinema history where somebody felt the need to explain a big, goofy, stupid mustache.
And also, what a way to start a movie. Let's do a flashback to just explain one minor thing.
Everything now is like, we got to go back and explain, like all the Disney things. They're like, we got to explain where Boba Fett was between movie 2 and 3. Now, at some point, Kenneth Branagh's like, look, everybody's been wondering for 50 years, why does he have a mustache? What did he see as a kid that made him grow a mustache?
And why is the mustache so important? Like it's just facial hair.
Well, so okay, Courtney, what is the story? Why does he have a mustache?
Tom, he took a hard blow to the face.
Ooh. Oh, so it effed up his face.
Yeah. Will, did you not see this? Were we just
No.
Oh, okay. So I'm the only one that saw this.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're the only one. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I'm gonna spare you from a lot of spoiler alerts.
Oh,
and
no.
I'll do you
No,
the-
spoil it all. I'm not going to see it.
Right in.
We could probably predict the ending of this.
Okay, let's
Maybe.
hear it.
Yeah, Will.
Okay,
Will, I'll be the manager. You're 20 minutes in. You come out. Oh, yeah. Hello, sir. Yeah, so can I help?
Yeah, buddy. I'd like a refund, please. And hurry it up, pal.
Well, a refund for what? What did you see?
I saw this terrible movie. It was guy with a
Yeah,
mustache.
House of
Johnny Depp.
Gucci. I know. It's really bad.
Oh, no, the other bad one.
King Richard. Terrible stuff.
Nah, it was yet another one with the mustache. It was actually the movie where they did the
Belfast. Yeah, it's really most boring movie I've ever seen in my life.
No, it wasn't that, and it wasn't 1917, but it was another movie with mustaches.
Oh, okay. It was.
I know we got a lot playing here.
I got it. It was the French Dispatch. Yep. Yeah, I get it, man.
Is this sort of like an indie retro cinema? Like, I'm not sure what year this is, and I'm asking for my money back.
Okay.
Rocky 4 is on in one of these fucking theaters.
The new Rocky. I'll tell you this much: we've been talking about a lot of bad movies. New Rocky 4, great. You know why it's great? He took out the robot. The robot not in Rocky 4 anymore. Now it's a masterpiece.
Well, unless he beats the heck out of the robot, I'm not interested, and that's a bad movie in my opinion. So
look, I've written to Mr. Stallone several times. I said, look, the real way to make a legacy sequel at this point is that robot comes back. He's the villain. You got to fight him.
He's a Russian. He's a Chinese
robot.
Yeah, he's a Chinese built robot.
He's been hacked by the Chinese, and he wants to fight you, Rocky.
It's a direct message from Xi Jinping, President Xi Jinping.
Yes.
He wants to challenge Rocky to a fight.
Sly responded by instead editing the robot out of the whole series and then re-releasing Rocky 4. So I don't know. I don't think he liked the advice very much, but whatever. So anyway, okay, you want your money back for seeing you saw Licorice Pizza, you didn't like it, you want the money back.
No, I saw Oriental Pizza Express or something. Just I want that. money I gave you for that.
Murder on the Orient
That-
Express. No, that
Yes.
came out years ago, sir. I can't give you a refund on that.
We were just talking about Rocky 4.
What movie did you see that you want money for?
It's the freaking Oriental Express. I just paid you
I
$20.
just told you, it isn't even out. That movie's
What?
not out.
But I saw that movie 3 years ago. What?
This is my point. There's a new one, Death on the Nile. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, no. But I didn't ask for a refund for that one. I asked for a refund for the Oriental Express.
But you like Death on the Nile, in other words.
No, I didn't see that one. I didn't see Death on the Nile. I saw the Oriental
Let me
Express.
call my boss in. This is my boss, Courtney. Courtney, can you help this man? I don't quite understand what he's trying to tell me.
Excuse me, miss. This customer service guy's been harassing me.
Sir, it's my understanding you have no clue what the F you're talking about. Did you perhaps see Death on the Nile, the sequel to Oriental Train Express Time?
No, I saw the Oriental Express train mystery murder, and I got my money back for that one. But the Death on the Nile one, the sequel.
Is there a caretaker at your facility we could call maybe to take you home?
Stevie, they want me home. He'll be right over.
Really quick, where did your meta house go?
Oh, I
sold it.
See, the thing is, no, I still have it. I
needed a quick 0.2 mil.
I still have that 0.2 mil, and by the way, it's just increasing. Mark told me that my value for my meta house will go up astronomically faster than any sort of APR financing. So it's good to know. But yeah, I still have the meta house. I'm just sort of, you can only use it for a certain amount of time if you're at the 0.2 bracket level. So I ran out of like the first 10 minutes of using it, and then they pull the plug. So
well, it's beautiful. You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. Trying to make it seamless.
All right. So anyway, Courtney, in this new movie, I really want to know what the origin of the mustache is. That what he's like in a war and someone shot his face. What happened?
He is in a war. Landmine takes out almost his entire troop. He makes it, of course.
Wow.
He's got a terrible scar on his face. His fiance at the time comes and visits him while he's in medical care. She tells him the simple solution after he dramatically turns and reveals his gashes is that he should just grow a mustache.
Or does he just like not have an upper lip anymore? Like what are we talking about as far as a scar?
Yeah, like a little scratch.
It's the makeup job was fabulous. It was very gashy and looked as if maggots were about to come out type deal. It was so
I don't know if a mustache is going to help with maggots in your flesh.
Yeah, I feel like maybe your hair follicles are not around once the maggots have eaten through them.
It worked out in his favor because it seems as though his mustache stems right under his nostrils where the gash did not grow.
So it's a comb over job.
I'm going to throw an idea out here. I don't know that his mustache looks that much better than a huge gash.
Well,
probably did at the time.
He shaves it, and you see it, and
God.
it's really not that bad.
Okay. Well, that's a great preamble then. Okay, so anyway,
that's all you need to know.
I already want to see this. This sounds great.
That's all
great insight into this character. He had a gash that wasn't that bad, and he grew a big mustache because he's insecure. Okay,
that was even worse than the gash, and then he solved a murder only after many people were killed. And then he shaved the stash because he met this fabulous jazz singer who
hates stashes.
Revealed himself to himself.
Okay. Well, so in this one, for some reason, he's just like on a cruise heading down the Nile. He's having fun in Egypt.
Going to Thebes for the weekend.
Yeah, and then somebody gets murdered on the cruise. Is that what happens?
So he travels to Egypt. Really, he's he's investigating a young rich man who falls in love with a beautiful black woman, and of course the young man's mother is not satisfied with this relationship, and so she would like our sweet mustache detective to follow her and
dig up dirt,
share his findings, dig up dirt.
Wait, okay, so he's hired to break up this nice interracial relationship.
Yes, intellectually.
And he,
Wow.
nope. So Kenneth Branagh thought it was important that we show the origin of the mustache. Wasn't too concerned about just like the racist element of the whole plot.
Yeah, it seems to be a central core of the plot.
Yeah, we're looking at the birdie over here, at the nice mustached birdie.
That's why the mustache is there.
Yeah.
So you're not like, wow, this is kind of racist, this movie.
Yeah.
This fuck up, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's watching
Jeez.
this young man who just so happens to be in Egypt for a wedding of their good friends, Army Hammer. There's a spoiler alert with this wedding. Basically, Army Hammer is engaged to be married to one gal. Wonder Woman Gal Gadot comes in the picture. He ends up marrying her. So we go to their wedding celebration in Egypt, where this young rich man is being investigated by our detective. And one thing leads to another, and he gets invited to go along to all of these fabulous wedding parties.
So is Army Hammer the young man? Or no, he wouldn't.
Army Hammer is the young man newly betrothed to Gal Gadot.
And he's not the one in the relationship to Letitia Wright, right?
Correct.
Who's in the relationship to her? Is that Russell
Oh.
Brand? I don't know who else is in this thing.
No,
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand is the ex-fiance of Gal Gadot.
Okay. And just to be clear, I know people have called this cast uniquely cursed.
Yes.
Now I don't know exactly what all the controversy about Gal Gadot is, other than that she's not a very good actor. But what Russell Brand and Letitia Wright are both anti-vaxxers, and then Army Hammer is a cannibal. Are there any others that I'm missing?
They're hidden. Is Kenneth Branagh trying to tell us something in this movie that we should know about his past?
Yeah.
That's all I know of on the surface. I'm
So that's
sure
it.
if we dug deeper, we could find it.
There's only 4 big PR disasters, but that's it. There's no more. That's good.
It's
That's
just 4.
it.
I've been 6.
If it's under 5, it's not really a disaster.
That's so true. And if it has anything to do with COVID, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, due to these unforeseen circumstances, even casting, it's what are you going to do, right? Supply chain.
What did
Crazy.
Gal Gadot do? What's everyone hate her for?
Having
She's
a producer
tone deaf.
husband.
She's tone
what?
deaf.
Oh, I heard that her husband is like a producer apparently, and so he's putting her in all these movies. Because I was wondering, like,
Yeah.
she's okay, but she's not like Meryl Streep. So what's she doing in all these movies? And then I was like, aha, her
What a
husband.
standard there, Will. She's
Her
okay,
husband.
but she's no Meryl Streep. Why is she in movies?
Well, I do this all the time. I'm like, what is Josh Gad doing in this?
Oh, yeah, that's a real
Why did
question.
they call me?
Who's Josh Gad? Is Josh Gad married to what, like Harvey Weinstein? How's he been getting roles?
Absolutely.
Well, in name only. He's-
Well, so like the thing I remember Gal Gadot doing that everyone made fun of was she like sang "Imagine" on YouTube for everybody. Remember
Right.
this?
Yeah. Apparently, she was so tone deaf it offended the masses.
And so, what was she tone deaf about? What was the controversy though?
I think she was literally just a terrible singer.
Oh, so like literally just tone deaf. Okay.
She's
Well, here, let's-
literally tone deaf.
Let's give our audience a taste of this. I'm getting used to the sharing stuff, so give me a second because I'm new to this streaming service. But I thought this could be something that we all enjoy or don't enjoy together. So here we go.
Gonna take this off for a second.
All right. So this was Gal Gadot in the middle of COVID. So like what, a year and a half ago, maybe. And here we go.
Day 6 in self-quarantine. And I gotta say that these past few days got me feeling a bit philosophical. This virus had affected the entire world, everyone. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, we're all in this together.
Which I like as a general way of talking about a pandemic, because that is, I don't know that this is new information exactly, that we're all
It
impacted.
sounds like a Backstreet Boy lyric to me.
We're all in this together.
I think the controversy was also that she's like, we're all quarantining from home. You and your poor shacks, me and my fancy mansion. We're
Yeah.
all in the same boat. It's the same canoe, really. You and your
That's
affordable housing.
That's
and
the
me
thing.
and
She
my
should probably. This is how the
mansion.
Death on the Nile should have started, with her being like, "We're all in the same boat," right? And then the cruise
It
starts
pretty much
taking off.
did.
Oh, that would be
Between
great.
Armie Hammer's ex-fiance and Gal Gadot, that is essentially the conversation that happened.
Okay, well, let's continue this here. We'll get to the tone deaf part. I don't know that we're there yet.
And I ran into this video of this Italian guy playing the trumpet.
This gives me like apology video vibes.
Yeah, like what crime did you?
Everybody, I'm so sorry. A lot of looking at the ground. We're all in this together, and just gonna do the hair flip and a couple other things, and then we're done.
I didn't realize that I was abusing my power. I didn't realize that people were hurt. But I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to listen now.
And we're all in the same canoe, okay?
To all the other people who were locked inside their homes. And he was playing Imagine, and there was something so powerful and pure about this video. And
I love when they have
Wow.
a minute of things to say and they completely lose track of anything they're trying to say. Just like
And they said nothing.
something about Imagine, you know.
I heard this in somebody's house one time, and it was like a magical experience. And I was like imagining, what if I did that like right now? It's like, what? Do we need a preface for this? Just get into
That's
it.
the other thing.
Let's
Well, I've watched the whole thing and I don't quite get it. So okay, let's continue it. Then we'll talk.
Imagine there's no heaven.
It's easy if you try.
No hell below us.
Wait a second.
So
What's that guy doing in that?
I got some general questions here.
Wait a minute. Okay, I was starting to wonder, like, this is an older video. I'm hoping this is relevant. This is incredibly relevant. You saw Armie Hammer, like 2 frames away from Gal Gadot?
What? No, that wasn't Armie Hammer. Wasn't in this. You
No, he
talking
wasn't.
about Jamie Dornan?
Jamie,
Who's that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is Jamie Dornan. They all look the same after a while. Some of these jabronis, you know.
But, a general question I have about this, and I'm sure other people have already done this, so I don't want to spend forever on it. But like, what is it? What are they trying to do here? Why are they singing Imagine?
Why was that the intro?
I
Out
saw a
of
guy playing a
all
trumpet.
People.
Yeah, that was kind of the whole story too.
Imagine all the people who could have done a better intro than that.
Yeah, that's well put.
Yeah.
Below us.
Above us only sky.
They're all in completely different octaves.
Imagine
Too. So it's just the
all
worst.
the people
Living for today.
A little flat, Sarah.
Yeah.
Imagine there's no country.
Completely different.
It isn't.
Also, we got like Star Spangled Banner syndrome, which is everybody's so bored of this song that they gotta like change every note and try to get as many different like variations as they can in every single beat.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know.
And the of the
Like, why do we need this many notes in this song? Can we speed it along? Also, can I say,
Can we do a speed run of this video? That would be.
and
We should have done that.
How did Jimmy Fallon get an invite? Let me throw that one out there.
I don't know, because he bought her crypto or something.
Mm-hmm.
God, Jimmy Fallon. All right.
Hard to do.
Nothing to kill or die for.
And no religion too.
I will say I appreciate that Zoe Kravitz clearly did not care about this. Some like her manager asked her to do it, and then she did it.
She was like, "Can I do it in my pajamas?" And the manager's like, "Yeah, I guess." And then she's like, "Great,
I'm
do it
barely
in
going to
4
sing it. I'm going to send it off. I'm done. I got other things
One
to-
take."
Imagine all the people.
This is many take syndrome.
Living for
And then the thing that kills me about this too is that they try and hit like these notes that some of the time they actually do hit. So whatever, props to them. But like on Skype, it doesn't work that way. So like the video file gets like compressed and the sound gets distorted. So it's kind of like coming in crackly and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not fun to listen.
I appreciate her being in the bathroom for the acoustics.
Yeah. She had a lot of like what was that? Prince of Egypt soundtrack type of
Oh,
acoustics in there.
yeah.
They wanted to make this special. What they should have done was gotten Jack Nicholson in there, and he'd be like on the toilet, not because of the acoustics, but because he's just on the toilet.
With a cigar in his mouth. Imagine no
Yeah.
heaven. They're like, wow, he didn't even sing it. I like it. Yeah, the thing is, she got a bunch of D-listers too. Nobody gives a crap about these people. Like, I mean, Kristen Wiig was in there.
Yeah,
You know,
she's not.
she's cool.
Yeah,
No, she's cool. Yeah, she's not a D-lister, but
no.
Some other people.
Bought that back. Yeah,
Who is this? Yeah, okay, I take a few of them back.
I don't know who this one is. Do you guys know who this is?
I don't know, a D-lister.
Okay, no, okay. All right, continue.
Unrecognizable.
Say that I'm a dreamer,
Not a singer, I'll tell you that.
but I'm not the only one.
I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one.
Oh, that's nice.
No.
And then, and then
what
the
they made
second
it.
verse.
Pedro Pascal here is. I feel like if I was involved, would have been like. Clearly, he's like in the middle of doing something else. And he's just like,
Little
"All right,
breakfast.
what are the 3 words you want me to say? Okay, fine. Here's 3 words. I'll rewind.
The
his.
part that killed me is they do the entire song. It's like, Gal, we don't need to do a front to end cover necessarily. We could do 30 seconds.
Imagine no possessions.
I wonder if you can. No need for greed and hunger.
I'm going to go ahead and say I don't know that like Will Ferrell. People have said that he's sold out. Like 15 years ago? I think he's got weird taste, right? Like he's good when he's got good direction. I don't know that he actually sold out until right the second he decided to do this.
But then, did he even make any money from this? Honestly, I feel the same way. When I saw Chris O'Dowd in this the first time, I was like, oh, buddy, what are you doing in this?
Yeah.
And then I saw Will Ferrell, and I was like, man,
It's
Gal Gadot
charming.
must have good agent.
And this is
It
not.
is charming.
It's not only Will Ferrell. It's like Will Ferrell taking it seriously, which is bizarre.
Yeah, he did his hair for it.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Lanolin, I need you to do my hair.
Linoleum.
Oh, whoops.
Brotherhood of man.
Sharing all the world.
That one looks like a hostage.
Is that little Timmy?
I don't know who that is. But yeah, looks like she's singing at gunpoint.
Feels like most of them are.
You, they say that I'm a dreamer,
But I'm not
Oh,
the
let's get into that
only
one.
one.
I hope someday you'll join
Oh,
us,
her too.
I know.
and the world will be as one.
Okay, we made it, everybody.
All right.
That's
Thank
it.
goodness.
Ugh.
I hope I never see that in my life again. I'm sure it came from a good place, but at the time it was just sort of annoying because it was like, nobody needs this. Like, this doesn't help anyone. No first responder in the hospital is like, oh, Gal Gadot just touched me when she said that. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe
I wouldn't phrase it that way, certainly.
maybe there are less cynical people than me who like that. I don't know.
Why was she the head and the tail of all of that?
I don't know.
Yeah, get Maya Rudolph to be the head and the tail. Everyone loves her.
Yeah.
She'd
She's
have a
probably
better
Gal's
story.
idea.
Yeah, but like, get Maya Rudolph to tell the story about I saw a guy play a trumpet and it was great. That was the whole story, as I recall. So it's not like there was. It's not like Gal Gadot needed to be the one to tell that story.
It's not like anyone even needed that story, really. It's just like I heard this song the other day and I was like, wow. So, anyways, here's that song.
You ever hear this song, Imagine, by this guy, John Lennon?
Probably never heard of him. Niche.
Oh,
that
man.
song you guys all had to sing in a presentation in 8th grade to like your families? Yeah, we're going to do that song.
Well, so this sent me down a little rabbit hole because I was trying to think of like what did Gal Gadot do that everyone hates, and I saw Jimmy Fallon, and just my personal hatred for Jimmy Fallon kind of took hold of me.
It seeped into your hatred of Gal Gadot.
Yeah,
Jimmy Fallon is infectious, I'm telling you.
Why is Jimmy Fallon not in Death on the Nile as the guy who gets killed?
Well, Tom,
I would see that movie if that was the case.
do you really want spoiler alerts?
Yeah, I don't care about it.
Give them all.
You would
Spill
be
it.
thrilled to watch Death on the Nile then, as Gal Gadot's character is in fact one of the deaths on the Nile.
Wow.
It makes it sound like I hate her passionately, which I don't know.
I don't.
I don't think I don't care that much.
Yeah,
Really.
you sexist pig, Tom. I bet you hoped she was the first one to die too. You son of a bitch.
You hate Wonder Woman, Tom?
Yeah. Makes me sound like a horrible misogynist over here. Like, oh, you'd love this one. Guess who gets killed?
Oh yeah, the
Only
feminist
woman in it.
icon dies immediately in this one. You'd love it, Tom.
The cannibal dies too, Tom.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Okay. This
Well, that's deserved.
it's too bad that he couldn't have gotten eaten or eat somebody. Like now that in retrospect we watched this movie, we know a lot more about Armie Hammer, and it could have been more fun.
Yeah,
They probably could have had fun with it.
I think you still might need to watch it. Just, if you are looking to get better sleep,
Okay.
could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I think you should give it a try.
Good to know.
I would be curious to hear you guys guess who was responsible for the deaths on the Nile.
Oh, I'm going to go
Russell
Russell.
Crowe.
Russell Brand was what I was going to say. I don't know if Russell Crowe's in it.
Oh yeah. That's right.
So Russell Brand is the onboard medic, and with each death, they put each of the bodies into the meat freezer. And so he basically is stationed in the meat freezer for the majority of his role. And he's in charge of all the autopsies. So he actually is not the murderer.
Well, being in charge of the autopsies doesn't mean you didn't kill somebody. It means you could say, like, yep, definitely wasn't me. I'll tell you that much. Just did the autopsy. Here's what I found.
Listen, I wasn't the guy that cut him open initially to kill him. I was just the guy that cut him up after he was dead. Let's not get confused. Well, also, that's interesting.
So you have, let me just set this up for you really quick because you'll probably guess within the next 2 minutes. You've got Armie Hammer, who has an ex-fiance.
Yeah.
I didn't mention this before, but she follows them to the Nile. She just so happens to be traveling in Egypt at that time and still be obsessed with Armie Hammer.
So it's not
She
her,
and
is what you're telling us. Couldn't be her.
She and Gal Gadot were friends before until Gal, of course, stole her fiance.
No motive
Gal
there.
is dead.
I'm gonna change my guess to Russell Crowe.
He just swoops in the middle of the movie. And you're like, wow, I didn't even see that guy on the poster. This is amazing.
Yeah, he's at the point at the end where Perot like explains everybody's motives. He's like, and clearly it was the gladiator. Russell Crowe, like, oh, I didn't know he was in this.
It's like really fat Russell Crowe, like 300-pound Russell Crowe.
He's
He's like, I did it. And like some Steven Seagal type of like vibe. And then you're just like, nah, you didn't, Russell. Sit down. And then
He's like in
"Oh, I
his
did it."
gladiator outfit, which doesn't fit him at all anymore. He weighs 100 pounds more than he did when he did that movie.
Like, Russell, you need to get off set. You're not even cast in this project.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So is Letitia Wright then? Is that the person who killed him?
No, but she is pissed because the young boy that's initially being investigated, which brings detective on, he gets killed.
Oh, lots of deaths.
Wow.
Lots of deaths.
You call deaths on the Nile.
Yeah, they should be more specific.
Come on, Brenna.
I liked that it was so vague because I really was only expecting one death. And so when it kept coming, I don't know. I got a little too excited to see the demise of Armie Hammer.
Was it satisfying at least?
That's a long pause for that
weird if
question.
I
Yeah, that's
say
a
yes.
I'm gonna say that's a no.
Getting a no from that immediately.
The very Shakespearean ending that he has with his ex-fiance, who is actually never really an ex. So I think you can put A and B together on how the movie ends.
Spicy.
You know, this Kenneth Branagh guy has got a little bit too much of a Shakespeare obsession. I'm going to throw that out there. I one time tried to watch his 4-hour-long Hamlet movie. Yeah, didn't make it that far. What a boring movie.
The Ethan Hawke Hamlet's decent, kind of.
That's where he's like, it's like the 90s, and he's like a 90s teenager.
Yeah.
He's like on his computer putting like floppy disks in.
Yeah.
To be
He's
or
like,
not to be? What is the question?
Horatio, wherefore art thou? And it's kind of like
What
it doesn't really match.
Ethan Hawke can kind of sell anything, though. You know.
Yeah.
And also, that's a shorter one, right? They cut out like half the play.
Yeah, they cut it out and then they gave it like a Matrix sort of overlook sort of feel, you know. So it felt like, oh, I'm watching the Matrix, but it's Shakespeare. So a bit confusing, but overall decent. You know.
Kind of like your meta house to me.
Yeah. Well, as I told you, you know, different tiers sort of rent out for different amounts of time. You know, if you ever see like, I don't know, YouTuber streamers like you know, all those guys, PewDiePie and you know, all the
Sure.
you know, all the
Logan
women
Paul,
streamers,
Jake Paul,
Pokimane. I don't even know who that is. I just read about her earlier today. Anyways, all those people probably have the meta house tiers that's like, you know, 5.2 mil, you know, the number point and then the other number.
Yeah. Not
million,
a 0
so.
point. One of the one or more.
Well, yeah, you know, it's just you're trying to class it up, you know, but yeah, they're at the higher tier level. So if you ever see them streaming from their meta house, I don't know, it might look better or whatever. But the thing is, I still live just a few neighborhoods away from the Zuck.
So is he your meta landlord? Is that how that works?
Will, I need your rent.
Will, where are those HOA fees? And get those.
Will, mow your lawn. There's too many weeds.
Your grass is 2 inches too high from the community
You guys
standards.
make him sound cooler, I feel like.
Yeah, he sounds like a Goodfellas guy. Hey, Will.
Mark, why'd you make weeds grow in this CGI world? Why are there weeds at all, Mark?
Here, I'll be Mark, and you can just go through the issues that I'm having with my meta house. So you're gonna assume that you know it's a laundry list. So I'll be Mark.
Hi everybody. Mark
Hey, Mark.
Zuckerberg here.
Yeah. So my toilet's been leaking for a couple days. It's really the whole basement's flooded now.
Wow.
There seem to be little amphibians, like little tadpoles that are sprouting, or they've been alive. And I don't know why that would happen. I don't know what they're going to grow into.
Well, Tom, you know, the tadpoles are actually part of the experience. You know, much like the natural world sort of has its own life cycles, the tadpoles are part of the metaverse. You know, you got to kind of roll with it.
It's like sinking. Yes, my roommate here has some thoughts as well.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah, hi. My meta staircase continues to meta creak all the time, and I'm just wondering where these meta ghosts come from.
Well, you know, it is a bug in one of our newer releases, but we're hoping to have a firmware to kind of patch a lot of those creaking issues. You know, people have mentioned that their houses are creaking as well. We're trying to get that patched in the next firmware rollout. So give us a couple months. You know, don't sell out. The metaverse is almost here. This is the future. So hang in there.
Speaking of ghosts, I know a lot of my neighbors are excited about it, but it's been creeping me out because a complete CGI recreation of Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker seems to just be wandering through my house at all hours and saying things like, the Force is stopping you, or, you know, it's like weird stuff like that. And I'm not much of a Star Wars fan, and it kind of creeps me out. I don't want Mark Hamill watching me take showers and stuff. Can we do something about that?
Well, you know, Tom, as much as I'd love to get rid of that, that's one of our Disney functions that are sort of built into the metaverse, and we can't get rid of that.
Can I pay more to have no Disney functions?
If people have asked that before, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's just not part of the package. You know, Disney's sort of part of the metaverse. So either you live in the real world where we have Disney, or you live in the metaverse where we also have Disney. It's your choice.
Another problem, bunch of little gnome guys running around, knocking over all my plants.
Yeah.
Keep slashing my tires. So
we put those in actually the metaverse just to sort of create sort of like what we call gangster fun. You know, we don't want everything to sort of feel like a gated community. So occasionally we'll send out the gnomes to go slash a tire.
I'm sure they
knock down a stop sign. Just a few sort of like, you know, neighborhood kids kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You know,
you didn't
smashing
want to
mailboxes. It's
racially charged or you know, so you had to pick like gnomes instead of, you know, a group, whether it's, you know, like whichever group. You didn't want like a Anthony Cuomo to get mad at you, for example, if it was a bunch of Italians.
No, listen, we had a bunch of greasy looking Italian guys that we were going to just pop in there, but they said, yeah, you know, between Cuomo, the two Cuomos and all the other, you know, anti-Italian energy in the air right now, just going with gnomes.
Why not
gnomes are great. Well, Smurfs are sort of more innocent. So if you sort of like, you are able to maintain your HOA standards, we award you a Smurf at the end of each month and sort of a cage for it, and you can kind of keep it in your house. It's a pet. So the Smurfs are benevolent, and the gnomes are evil. Is this all making sense? Hopefully. Oh man, what a weird neighborhood. I love it here already.
I'll have to revisit this in future episodes.
I'll see if I can sort of upgrade the tier, maybe get us to like, I'll sort of like see if I can get a back garden view, from a terrace or something nice.
So I went down a little rabbit hole after I saw Jimmy Fallon in this Imagine video when I was doing a little prep for this. And I had this question, which was, has Jimmy Fallon ever said anything funny ever? And I don't really have a clear answer on that. But one thing that I did come across was Jimmy Fallon apparently was on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, everyone's favorite show, with everyone's favorite relatable human, Jerry Seinfeld. And so I have a quick clip here where I thought, you know what, this is a good start, which is Jimmy Fallon tells a Jack Nicholson story. And I thought, you know what?
Oh.
Most stories, even if it's just Jack being funny, you can kind of get a laugh from, right? And in particular, what's interesting here is Jerry's reaction. So I'm going to share this with you guys, and we'll see what you think. This is Jimmy Fallon. I haven't seen the whole episode, so I don't know the context. Maybe it makes more sense, but here we go.
We're going to watch the whole episode. Right
yep, we're
now.
going to watch 25 minutes. No, it's a minute long.
Serious. So I'm at the game with Lorne Michaels and with Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson's the coolest guy. Again, one of those guys where his voice is his voice. It's like you're you. He's Jack Nicholson. He's Jack Nicholson.
All right, first question. Is that a real laugh? Jerry,
No.
Is that a polite laugh? What's going on?
It's a polite laugh.
That's
polite.
I'm joking, but want to be polite.
It's very animated though, right? Like instead of just making that face, his whole body is kind of moving back and forth. Bobbling, you might say.
So we order a hot dog and a beer, and I get Cracker Jack. I'm eating Cracker Jacks.
All right.
What? That's
So
not
not-
funny.
Not only is there the weird bobbing, he slaps the table there because
He's like, Cracker Jack. Hey, you're telling me you're eating Cracker Jack in front of Jack Nicholson? Oh
you
my
ate
god.
Cracker Jacks in front of Jack Nicholson.
You're a fucking idiot, Jimmy. You're eating Cracker Jack in front of Jack Nicholson? What the heck? Everybody knows Jack hates Cracker Jack. It's like, Jack, hello, Cracker Jack, Jack Nicholson.
This is like a little microcosm though of my confusion about Jimmy Fallon, because nothing in this story is funny so far, but his audience thinks it's the funniest thing that's ever happened ever, right? It's like George Carlin or Rodney Dangerfield level laughs. And I'm just like, wait, what? Did I miss it? Did I miss the funny part? And, that's kind of like his whole ascent in our culture, right? He's got the Tonight Show now. And I don't get it. I don't know.
Very few people do get this, but I'm thinking Lorne Michaels likes having little Jimmy around for some reason. No comment further.
He looks at me, he's got a sunglasses, and he goes, "Did you get the prize yet?" And I go, I swear to God, I open up the prize. It's a sticker, picture of a snake. He goes, when I was a kid, we used to get metal things like tin whistles, stuff like that. Then without even looking at me, he's looking out at the game. He goes, "Now you get a picture of a fucking snake." Dude, it was like someone wrote it in the script. Now you get a picture of a fucking snake.
All right, well,
I'll
stop it there because it doesn't get much better.
Was that the punchline?
It doesn't get much better, much like the Cracker Jack prizes.
I don't know. Again, I'm going to say that might be the funniest he's ever been, but still not quite sure where the humor was.
I don't know, but Jerry kept laughing at everything like it was the punchline. I was like, Jerry, you got to know when to laugh for the punchline, surely, because otherwise you've exhausted yourself.
The hardest I've ever seen Jerry laugh, I think.
I know. It's like Jerry doesn't know when to be like a human and laugh at like something genuinely funny and something just like.
But like you do that when you want to have like a good rapport with somebody, right? Like you do that when you want to maybe impress somebody or like them, or like you're nervous around them. Is Jerry Seinfeld really nervous around Jimmy Fallon?
Maybe. He was like, this could bomb. This whole thing could bomb.
100%, because Jimmy Fallon knows Jack Nicholson.
That's true.
You know what would be hilarious is Jerry calls up Jack and he's like, "Hey Jack, what if I go to one of those Laker games with you sometime?" And Jack's like, "I'm not interested. I got plans with Jimmy."
Jerry, I'd rather go out on a boat with Jimmy Fallon for 6 hours and go deep sea fishing
I'd rather go Cracker Jack shopping with Jimmy Fallon.
for a whole afternoon. Like, Jack, you could just tell me to F off. That would hurt my feelings less.
Oh, man.
Poor,
All right. So, you know, this whole thing with Jerry, he's become the most like opulent guy ever. And I guess I liked Seinfeld when I was a kid. You know, it was on all the time. And I sort of just assumed that he was kind of like a normal human. And I don't know if he was ever one. And certainly after he became extremely rich, he doesn't seem to be one anymore. And one of the revelations that's come up recently is that he actually never really liked coffee, despite having a whole show where he gets coffee. And so I found there was a quote about it that I think I sent to you, Will, forever ago, but I found actually with the interview where it comes from, which was Jerry Seinfeld talking to NPR about coffee. And so I'm going to play a little bit of this here.
A lot of stuff in my stand-up set in the 80s and 90s about how I don't get coffee. I don't understand why everyone's so obsessed with this drink. And people say, well, I need it because when I wake up, I feel groggy. And I said, well, you just got up.
It's okay.
Maybe if you give it a little time, it'll change. So that was my old attitude about coffee.
So I'm going to stop there and say that's definitely a guy who's nervous and wants Jerry Seinfeld to like him, and that's why he laughed so hard.
Yeah, that's true.
Because not a great joke, but okay. Anyway,
but coffee,
not even a joke, if you ask me.
About 5 years ago.
5 years ago. This interview is from 2013, so we're talking like 2007 or so.
I started touring a lot, and we would have these great big fun breakfasts in the hotel, and it just seemed to go really well with the French toast.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop you there. Any thoughts, anybody?
Yeah.
Big fun breakfast at the hotel seemed to go with the French toast is why he started to drink coffee.
Coffee goes well with French toast.
And then I got married, and I had a family, and my entire day was...
And then I was cheating on my wife with the coffee. It was ridiculous. How is this relevant, Jerry? Can we speed this story along, please, sir?
Not free for social interaction.
Right.
And eating is annoying, difficult.
Even laugh boy is like, right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. There's a great when he says the thing about French toast. Right?
All right. I think I'm with you still.
It's good with French. Yeah. That's not a thing anyone's ever said, but okay. Continue.
Sure, Jerry.
It's hard to choose places, and meeting someone for coffee suddenly seemed like a wonderful, compact, accessible, and portable social interaction. It's just something to do. My theory is 98% of all human endeavor is killing time.
So what I find interesting here is it definitely sounds like an alien has come to Earth and is trying to sort of understand human life.
I got married. I had kids. I drank coffee.
This is what human children with my human wife, and I drank all the human coffee.
This is what the humans like to do. They like to sit and drink coffee.
I just love too that like Jerry is like, I just discovered something like 5 years ago that society has been doing for like 700 years. It's like, cool, Jerry. Like, if I pick up the harpsichord next month, I'm not going to be like, wow, what the heck? Everybody's been missing out on this. I'll be like, you know what? I probably am just new to this. So I don't know. That would be my attitude.
Well, you know, most people drink coffee because we have like difficult lives where we have to be alert and like do a lot.
Stressful jobs.
And yeah, just part of the culture is caffeine addiction. For him, it's just like this. I've got hundreds of millions of dollars and I don't know what to do with all my free time. I guess I'll get coffee. I don't know. This guy, it annoys me. I'm going to say, as someone who is passionate about coffee, the fact that a guy who doesn't even like coffee gets a show where all he does is go get coffee really makes me mad.
To put on.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it.
Was that applause or was that like
detractional?
Boo!
All right. So another thing we have in here was...
Is that a real thing though?
Yeah, it's kudos.
Oh, it's kudos. Oh shit, I didn't know that.
With MailChimp.
Oh, sorry. There was
I
an
thought
ad.
it was just all I've seen it is like when in a poetry reading one time they didn't want to clap, so they just did this, and I was like, wow, how horrendously
How posh.
obscene. Yeah, how posh.
All right, I got another bit of celebrity news for you that Will, I think you sent this one over, which is
yeah.
there's been this weird phenomenon lately. I don't know, like when I think about celebrities' lives, a question that I don't think about a whole lot is like how often do they bathe, right? But we have had a weird amount of I would argue TMI about this coming from celebrities, and not because I don't, it's not because it's like disturbing the concept of somebody bathing, but the concept of people not bathing certainly can be disturbing, and that seems to be the general trend. So this comes from it starts with a story about Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell telling talking about their shared lives with their children, and in particular their sleeping arrangement with their children. So this comes from Dax Shepard's podcast. So here we go.
The floor of our bedroom, and a few nights ago I smell a really raunchy smell, and I'm like, who's farting?
Right. You go to the obvious first.
Right. All three of them are like, sorry, it's me.
So I'm gonna stop this here and just say I feel like that by the time you're a celebrity with a podcast and you're telling stories about like bedroom farts, it's just a time to maybe think about, do we need to have this podcast? Is this good for the culture? Is this good for my image? Do I have any shame left?
Is this funny? Why am I doing this?
Is this funny is a good question too. Yeah. I don't know.
Is this actually funny? Or am I just oversharing about my weird habits?
So I go, okay, my family has gas. Big D, you know?
Yeah. Big D, whatever. We all have gas. Yeah. The Shepherds more than others, but whatever.
Makeup in the morning. Wow. No.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to change.
Did she say all three of her kids said that they had gas at the same time? What is she cooking
in
for them?
the same room that they're all sleeping in?
Oh, so they're all just hot boxing this. Like, first of all, what are they eating for dinner? Second
This is
of all,
once again where we get into just like, I don't know. I don't need to know this really. Live your life. Maybe don't broadcast all of it.
yeah, like Whoopi Goldberg, if she had a podcast where she's just talking about how like I took a shit and had I had Indian food for dinner and then I took this shit that was like, and then she just describes it, I probably wouldn't listen, even if it's kind of funny, just because it's like that's gonna stick in my head.
Well, I'll let you know she does have that. It's called The View. It's on every day.
She doesn't talk about her BMs though, does she?
I don't.
At least she used to.
I think the producer
good old days
would prefer, like when she's off to like, let me tell you about the Holocaust. The producers are probably like, Whoopi, please, can we go back to the toilet talk?
Yeah, probably. Let me tell you about how racial the Holocaust was. It's like, can we talk about the Indian
Whoopi,
food thing?
Talk about literally anything else, please.
Talk about this story, Whoopi. Talk about the Dax Shepard, Kristen Bell gas issue.
Did something smell? But it also smells like it's burning.
It's one big, sometimes stinky slumber party at the Shepard Bell House.
That is not a joke.
In a new episode of Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert.
So this is news. This is just entertainment news now, which is
Why though? Why did it even make it that far? It made it to the podcast. Stop it there.
yeah. Not only is it on the podcast, but somebody at Entertainment Tonight is like, did you see this Dax Shepard fart story? We got to get somebody on that.
Quick, get the scoop.
We gotta air this out now.
Jimmy, you get on the phone now. Yeah, it's like all the president's men over there. We got Woodward and Bernstein investigating who's farting in the Dax Shepard bedroom.
Jimmy's like, quick, send Hallie over there. She'll get the scoop. We need to know we need to record this for posterity in case we get
The
nuked.
actor and his wife, Kristen Bell, opened
Oh, we got loading issues. Sorry, everybody. Look at this picture. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Hopefully Halloween.
up about their sleeping arrangement with their daughter's 8-year-old.
They'll tell you that was their Coachella outfit.
Oh my
man. That's what we wore to Burning Man. Just put photos of what we wore at Burning Man on our shitting
Lincoln and
piece.
7-year-old Delta while discussing.
Yeah, close.
We got to bump down the video quality or something.
I did. I just bumped it down to like 144.
To 0.2.
It's not even loading in potato quality. What the hell?
A pretty gross
All these
mishap
pictures.
after noticing
All right, I'll pause it. Yeah, well.
Just pause each picture because each one is its own story, really. You saw that one a second ago?
This one, this one that looks kind of like a
Dax is
Hoffman
trying to
video.
Yeah, right.
Looks
What's
like,
up with that face?
looks like
Dax
that
is
scene in Insidious when the monster sneaks up behind the dad.
Yeah.
Kristen Bell's like, "Hey Dax, do me just come over and just we'll get the picture." And he's like, "Do I have to look happy?" She's like, "No, just stand in the back."
Yeah, it's like it's a scene in a jump scare in a movie. When
I know, yeah.
The whole time.
He's like, "Can I look ominous in the background?" She's like, "Sure, whatever. Just get in the picture. We gotta put something up on ET." Okay.
Discussing a pretty gross mishap after noticing a lingering, unpleasant scent.
That night.
Oh my God, it's too much. But so essentially, what happens is it turns out that there's like a protein shake that's like rotting in their room, and they didn't realize it because they apparently just have so much gas in the air at all times. I'm going to give up on the video here, but
it's concerning.
Yeah.
And
then
all the best to the Shepard Bell household. I hope they can get their bowel issues.
And then the story goes on to find some linked celebrity revelations, such as Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis don't really bathe their children much unless they smell really, really bad. And Jake Gyllenhaal apparently doesn't really like to take showers. Yeah, just this thing where it's like, what's with all these really rich celebrities refusing to bathe? Why is this a story that's recurring so much?
It used to be the opposite. I think if you're like some Roman emperor or something, you'd have like 3 baths a day, as sort of your spa time. And then now we flipped it on its head. Now the rich, they don't even bathe. They don't even like water.
Yeah. Like
you think what's happened.
I think about 50 years ago and everything just reeked of cigarettes at all times, right? Like everyone, like you watch all these movies, people are like in the bath smoking 3 cigarettes, like it's just, that's normal. Now, everyone's kind of on like a health kick, but that's being compounded with a lack of any kind of hygiene routine.
Yeah. What's your take on this, Courtney? You think people are getting too healthy and not bathing enough?
Too smelly?
No, I think that these people are tripping balls constantly. And what they need is their natural body odor to ground them. I overheard someone talking about how they tripped a little too hard, and the antidote to that was having their face deep in an armpit.
Okay, I'm gonna be skeptical here. Is this grounding? These people don't seem that grounded to me.
I think if you wait enough time, it can get grounding.
Huh.
Like 5 years, 6 years?
I'll keep that in mind.
I don't know, man. 2 good weeks in the hot summer sun, that could be a pretty grounding smell.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Especially if you've been doing Prince of Persia for the whole summer and your name is Jake Gyllenhaal. And that looked like a sweaty movie to work on. Let's be honest. I haven't even seen that movie in 10 years. And I was just like watching that movie like, man, there must have been so many sweaty camera operators.
That's one of those movies where it's a cast of entirely white people speaking in British accents. And you're like,
yeah,
it's supposed to be all like this is the Empire of Persia. And it's like Jake Gyllenhaal being like, we need to find the magic sand, everybody.
Oh, so this is the Sassanid Persian Caliphate of like 500 or whatever, and Jake Gyllenhaal's in charge. Totally. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
So one other thing that's happening here before we start to wrap up is the Oscars have announced that they're going to do a special award this year where Twitter gets to vote for like an audience favorite award. And apparently they're just letting literally anybody on Twitter vote in like a big poll, which I love because that seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So what somebody had pointed out on Twitter was like, we can rig this thing. Like if it's just on Twitter, we can find a way to mess this up. And I love that mentality. So I wondered if you guys had any ideas. If we're going to get behind a campaign, if the big schmooze is going to endorse one of these let's screw it up campaigns, what should we go for?
Oh,
that's a good question.
Rocky 4?
Yeah, a movie that didn't even come out. Like it's the director's cut of Rocky.
Hey, we could petition for that.
Yeah,
things.
I feel like it's got to be just like a blatantly bad movie at this point, because everyone's like, oh, it's going to be Spider-Man. It's going to be our way to get Marvel in here because like all these Marvel nerds are like complaining that they're not winning Oscars. They've won the entire culture war, but they still think they're the underdog for some reason. Now they're like, well, Spider-Man didn't get a Best Picture nomination. You know, like it just beat Avatar at the box office, and they're crying about it now.
Oh man, that would be so sad if like 2 years ago the Best Picture was like Parasite, and then like four years later, Best Picture was like Thanos' Big Adventure. And it's just the same formula for every other movie that it always is. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure the CGI is great, but like Best Picture for this?
I think you just solved the mystery here. Thanos'
Yeah.
Big Adventure is what we should tell people to vote for. A movie that doesn't exist.
I'm in.
They would eat it up, those idiots.
If anybody watching this wants to make like a little poster for Thanos' Big Adventure, we'd appreciate that. You know, send it to us.
I'd love to see Thanos sort of like walking through. Maybe we get sort of like a movie poster idea going here, where we have like a shot of maybe Thanos in sort of like a far away shot. He's in the middle of a field, sort of like in a summer dress, sort of spinning around, sort of Sound of Music kind of thing going on. You know what I mean? So that's my idea for the poster. If you guys have anything, you can throw it in there.
Yeah, I want to emphasize the big and maybe incorporate some of Tom Hanks's film into that. Maybe we get a giant piano on the ground.
That would be great.
Thanos gets. So is it like Thanos is a little kid and he goes to a little fortune teller and becomes big? So like possibly in the whole Avengers chronology, he's actually 5 and just happened to become a fortune teller.
So in a way, them sort of beating Thanos in the end is just them beating up a kid.
Just killed a kid.
They just taking candy from the baby and then killing him. Jesus.
Let's tweet it.
What kind of a world is this?
So the poster maybe should be Thanos on the big piano keys.
In a summer dress, it sounds like.
Any other ideas are open.
No,
Julie Andrews' eyes are peering through the clouds.
Maybe we could have Mark Zuckerberg behind a bush in the background.
Over
like,
the fence.
Yeah, over the fence, over a bush or something. Little.
Should we see like the little Von Trapp children around Thanos as he's on the piano? Just sort of set up that whole image of him as sort of a master teacher.
Oh my god, I love it. Thanos' Big Adventure. I think I'm going to change the name of this live stream to Thanos' Big Adventure because it'll probably get 100,000 views now.
Yeah, for all the right reasons.
Little bait and switch. All right, so I know we talked about like a personality test, but we're over an hour now. So I guess I'll throw it to you guys. Is there anything you guys want to go through? Should we do it or should we save it for next time?
My personality says let's procrastinate and do it next time.
Yeah, we filled it. We got it. We got it done. Why do more than we need to?
When we can do it tomorrow or
Exactly.
next week.
All right.
Should we do our Jungian archetypes or something? I mean, I don't know which one I am. I would need to be assigned an archetype. But I don't know. That's a job for maybe Jordan Peterson.
Well, how about let's bring him in next time since we're over an hour. I don't want to throw like a great ending at people because my assumption is most people check out at some point. You know, like you're doing your laundry, you finished your laundry. You know,
I think after the 30 minutes of Gal Gadot talk, they were probably like, "Is this the Gal Gadot podcast? What is this?"
Look, I was told. Yeah, I'll stick around for an hour, and if they don't get to Dax Shepard farting, then I'm out.
I listened to Death on the Nile, but after I hit the protein shake in the bed smelling like BMs, I was out of there for my mental health.
Well, this was a good episode. Will, do you have any last thoughts? Or Courtney, any last thoughts before we wrap it up here?
Clean your protein shakes. Clean your blender bottles or whatever the hell you keep your protein shakes in. Don't put them in your bedroom or hide them under your bed.
That's great advice, honestly.
And maybe don't do a podcast. Like if you do have issues with gas or whatever else, right? You know, it's whatever happens. But I don't know that everybody needs to know about that.
Yeah. And I guess one more piece of just general advice. If you're hungry for human flesh, don't text your flame about it. And maybe don't be in Hollywood.
And maybe don't Specifically, give everybody, the whole internet, the phrase "I am a literal cannibal."
Or if you're going to say that to somebody, just make sure it's your therapist, Army.
All right, that's a good note for us to end on. So we will be back, hopefully, next week, right, everybody?
Sounds good.
Cool. All right, subscribe, everybody. Do the podcast app reviews, whatever you do, and we'll be back next time. Have a good night, everybody.